Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. It's Kriss and Dpalm here. We're here to recap The Flash Season 3, Episode 16, Into the Speed Force. Desperate to stop Savitar and save his friends, Barry turns to the Speed Force to answers. HR gives Jesse some advice that she does not take. Before we get into that, we do have a we do have a review. Dpalm, take it away.
I got one new review, and I'm stalling right now because iTunes wants to try to be a hater. All right. This is a review from J Projects, Justin P. at JMPOFF178. Amazeballs, informative, intelligent, funny, and best of all, unpretentiously nerdtastic. Thank you for the review.
I appreciate that. I'm going to have a review. Not a review, a rant later on about, hey, it's cool to be pretentious and you know, we got to call out the bad shit, but and I've been saying this for a while, there's a way to call it the bad and still uplift the things that you do like. And I feel like we're starting to reach that point where folks need to check themselves on that shit. But I'll say that for after this episode. Let's get right into this here. And hey, look, you know what? I've been down on The Flash for the last three episodes. I'm going to start right now and say this. I really enjoyed this episode.
It addressed everything we've had problems with.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
No, because I mean, Barry's biggest problem, particularly this season, where, you know, people were like, he's the supervillain, he's the big bad. And while I think we may get that reveal later, it was kind of like the Speed Force, like, quit being a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, and not just stuff with Barry, the stuff with Jesse. It addressed a lot of the small things, and it got me thinking about something like this. You know, we already know the show's coming back for a fourth season. All the CW shows are coming back for the next season, which is great. You know, it means I'm not sitting on pins and needles like I am with Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. going, I'm hoping, you know, the show comes back so I don't have to fucking kill somebody. So we know it's coming back. But, and again, I'm always comparing and bringing up Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. with there, but there's something that Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. does really well that I think that not just Flash, but all the CW shows and really any show that is like these shows and does like a full 22 episode season needs to do is Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is able to get its 22 episodes and nobody complains about filler episodes and that it's 22 episodes because they plan out their seasons in the 3 parts. So each, you know, they break it up. So you're really getting almost 3. You got 3 mini seasons. Yeah, you get 3 different acts in this 22 episode season. I think that's what makes that show work. So you never go, oh man, this is a filler episode. Oh man, like everything moves the plot forward, you know? And again, I'm going to comment on next week's episode here, but I think my biggest problem with next week's episode is going to be like, it's going to feel out of place. Like this episode was so good and it moved the plot forward so much and you ended on a really like serious note. And I don't know. And again, maybe my fears will be addressed in the next episode, but like, I feel like they're going to take a detour, and I'm like, I just don't know if you can do that right now. Like, it's just, I think that...
I was with you on that. Where I landed now after watching this past episode, which I enjoyed, I think we kind of need the levity. We've had a lot of dour on this season of The Flash. A lot of weight, and I understand it's a heavy topic, but you've got to remember what this show started as. This show started as the sunnier alternative to Arrow.
No, you're right, but it's not even that it has to be. I guess the tone isn't the thing that's bothering me. It's at this point you're in the back half of your season. Can you really afford a detour that doesn't like? We got some major things this episode with why that address a lot of things like why Iris doesn't have that ring on, why Jay doesn't show up and help, why Wally isn't there to help Barry, why Jesse isn't there. Like, we got a lot of things moving, that Savitar can be hurt. Like, we got a lot of things going there, and I'm like, can we really afford narratively to go for, and again, maybe, I haven't seen next week's episode, maybe next week's episode does somehow tie into that and does address some of these things and carry that thing on. But, like, can we narratively afford to move on? Because, like I said, this episode felt like it gives us a whole... We all knew that when Barry was going to try to change the future, that wasn't going to work. Right? We all knew that's a bad idea, Barry. Don't do that shit. This episode basically got us going. Barry realizing that you're right, I can't do that. But next week's episode is basically one of the things we saw on the board, with Music Meister. So it's like, I don't know. And again, maybe if, and again, I know people are going to go, oh, you just hate the musical episode. And I'm not, I do. I am not a musical fan, but I think I would have felt less about it if it had been earlier in the season versus now when we're literally racing towards, which is going to be the season's conclusion and some, like you said, some heavy topics. I don't know if we can afford to have a detour and something that doesn't keep that going forward. If that makes any sense. Like, I don't know. Like, again, maybe they'll pull it off. Like, I've been wrong before, and I will be happy to be wrong here next week. But, like, this episode, like, anytime they go into the Speed Force, like, think about when we went to the Speed Force last season, right? Like, that episode was so heavy. And then when we got right out of it, we didn't go do something, like, we went right back into dealing with Zoom and dealing with some shit there. So it's like, man, this is just a really, really good episode. Like, it's going to be tough to follow that up with an episode that might not focus on it. Focus on what
we also don't know how we get there. We don't know. They're very good at historically, even on the filler episodes, working in subplots that advance the main thing. I'm okay. I'm not.
And we'll see. Like I said, and I'm hoping. Like, I'm hoping they do that. Because, like I said, like
what episode was this season?
You said what?
What episode was this?
This is 16.
Oh wow.
That's what I'm saying. It's like this is late in the season. Like we only got 6 more episodes left. Like that's just, again, we'll see. Like I don't want to downplay, because again, I can't say for enough, because we've been so negative, and for us, put it that way, for us, we've been so negative on the last 3 episodes. This episode was so fucking good that I'm just like, ooh, wow. Like, it was like the Legion of Doom episode and Legend of Tomorrow. It's like, damn, that episode was so good. What are y'all gonna do next week? Y'all bringing Rip back? You sure about that? Because I'd rather have another episode with the Legion of Doom because it was so good. So yeah, that's my concern right now, and I just want to get that out of the way because again, I have to say they went and addressed a lot of my problem. I mean, there was even a problem I had with. Let's start with this: the Jesse thing. Like, I feel better about last episode and Jesse not going to do something with Wally because she worked so hard this episode to do something. And it was like, oh, it was stupid, but her running out to try to save Wally, her running out to save Wally would have been stupid too, and she wouldn't have been able to do it. But at least it shows me that, hey, you cared about Wally, Stafford Hart did something to Wally, and you're not going, hey, you are a Flash. You have your own speed. You don't need to wait on Barry. Like, shit, when HR hit her with the, we'll wait until the real Flash gets back.
Yo.
Nigga. And, like, and again, this is where the whole, maybe they got to do a better job with the 22 episodes, and you can't have, again, I've never been one of those complaining really about filler episodes, but in this case, I think they've kind of hurt this season because, hey, I think like HR. It's like, yeah, Jesse, you're not the real Flash. The last time we saw you, you were still trying to learn how to do shit. She's like, oh, yeah, what did she say? It's like, on my Earth, I'm the real Flash. I fought plenty of monsters before. And I'm like, yeah, but you're only here because you ran to Earth 1 when Grodd took your dad.
Yeah, I wish they'd have shown us some of her adventuring on Earth too.
Yeah, and that's where, again, on its own, great. Like, I love the fact that she stood up to HR. I love the fact that she stood up to everybody. Was like, no, I am a Flash. Like, you guys are looking down on me like I can't. Like, Barry's the one with, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, because it's like, I
really enjoyed that too.
Right. It's like, and I love the fact that she's the one that finds out that there's a man underneath that suit, and she's the one that hurt Savitar. Even though technically, when Barry cuts the piece off of Savitar last week, he does cry out. So Barry should have realized too that it's something there, but he didn't. But Jesse's the one that really realized that and went in there and did that. All that is great on its own, but it would have made more impact if you had shown us that, hey, you're right. Jessie is the Flash on her Earth. She has taken down people, but The only time we've seen her is one when Harry brings her over because he needs Barry's help to deal with her speed because she doesn't know what she's doing. She's new to it. And then two, when she's running to Earth, she runs to to Earth 1 to tell Barry she needs help because Grodd took her dad. And then she didn't go with Barry and them to save her dad. So it's like you're giving her
but you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I love that you gave her agency this episode. I love that you made her, hey, stand up for herself. And fucking, I'm a Flash. I have speed. I can do the same thing Barry can do, even though you're not Barry Allen. We had to throw that in there. You're not. But I like that. I like that. It's just like because it's what Wally would do. Is what any speedster would do. You wouldn't just sit in the background and not do anything like she did last episode. We were really upset that she didn't move and didn't run out there to help Wally. So it makes sense this, but it's like you also have caused this problem because you have never shown us that she is a Flash, that she is doing all this stuff. Right. Like you had her run to Earth 1 to get help for Grodd, didn't even try. It'd be something different if she's like, yeah, I try to save my dad and Grodd stopped me. Like a little line like that would have gone a long way, but they didn't do that. They just made it seem like So I don't know. Things like that, but overall, love that they did this with her this episode. Like it annoyed me at first because of what I said, but I love the fact that they didn't just have her go out there and be beat. And I love the idea that she's now going to go to Earth 3 to take Jay's spot and help Earth 3. So because she's like, hey, Savitar said he has plans for me, and I'm not. I don't want any part of that. So I like I said, I think that was really good.
Yeah, it's so weird because Jesse was just 100% right this entire episode. From the point where they go into the Speed Force, and then you've got Cisco making jokes about peanuts. Like it's just It seems I really liked how she was. It made her look even more heroic.
Yeah, it's like, yo, you guys are making jokes here, but it's serious. What are you guys gonna do? Like, I like the other thing. Yeah. No, I fully agree, and I definitely think that there was something that they needed to do, and it also makes me think that hey, now that Savitar is no longer in the Speed Force, that means everybody can see him. Like Cisco and Caitlin, maybe not Caitlin because I understand, but Cisco, you could have gone out there with her, you could have helped her and stuff like that. Like again, it was stupid for her to go by herself, but it's like at that point, I understand her mentality from it. It's like, no, what if Wally and Barry don't come back? What are you guys going to do then? Right. Are you guys going to sit around and let Savitar do whatever the fuck he's planning on doing? Like, what is your backup plan? The plan can't always be sit around and wait for Barry. Because here's the thing, and we'll get more into that this episode. Barry demonstrated that he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing a lot of times. So at some point, always we're just going to wait for Barry. Like this again. Barry isn't Oliver. Like, when Oliver says that shit, it's like, okay, no, fucking, you guys need to listen to Oliver. Like, Oliver's been through some shit, and he's done some shit, and it's probably more than you know. So, you guys need to listen to Oliver. That's not what's going on here with Barry. They've all been through the same shit Barry's been through. Granted, like, I get the deaths that have happened with Barry and things like that, but they have just as much experience as Barry does. Their opinion is just as, it's just one of those, like, I get it, but, like, at sometimes it's like they default to Barry even though he fucks up.
But that's true. But I think the main point of the episode and what the Speed Force was trying to tell him was that, you got to have confidence in yourself. You've got to have the faith that you can do this because everyone's got faith in you. Like, I think the issue isn't that they're placing the faith in Barry, is that Barry never had the faith in himself. Oh no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I'm saying that they should never put their faith in Barry. I'm saying until Barry gets his head in the game, that sometimes you gotta, what it reminds me of. So again, I always talk about. It's not gonna be the show you got. I'm gonna talk about. I watched The Expanse, and there's two characters on there. Naomi, I love Naomi's character. And Holden. Holden is basically the captain of the ship. By Naomi, I always call Naomi the real captain. It's because Holden reminds me so much of Barry. Where it's just the self-doubt, it's not sure.
So Naomi's character, who could really be the captain of the ship, sometimes she goes and she just gives Holden these pep talks that basically tells him, dude, you're fucking captain, make the fucking decision. We'll back you, but basically, man the fuck up. Suck it up, do what you got to do, have confidence in yourself, make the decisions, and go forward. Like, I feel like that's what's been missing with Barry. And until that happens, these people can't just sit there and go, oh, well, we'll make jokes and we'll try to be... No. You need to let Barry know he fucks up, but also give him that confidence boost he needs that you'll follow him to the end of the earth. That's fine, but...
We got your back.
Yeah, that we got your back, but at the same time, like, sometimes you got to push the hero... Because here's the thing about heroes and leaders, the best ones are always reluctant. Right? They never want to go out there and, oh, yeah, I'm the leader. I'm the guy. You pick me. Like, they're never that person. So sometimes they need that confidence boost and that support from people behind them. And again, that also means sometimes that while they're doing this, you got to go out and have your own plans too. So again, Barry's going out here to save Wally. That's fucking great. What, like Jesse said, what the fuck are you doing, Cisco, Caitlin, Julian? What the fuck are you guys doing to save to stop Savitar while he's gone? You're gonna sit around and wait for Barry's call? What if he never fucking calls? What if nothing happens? What are you guys gonna do? So no, absolutely. Again, that's why I love what they did with Jessie this episode. Like, they had her sitting in the background last episode, and it's one of the things I think that next season they'll have to figure out. Depending on, and I think we're getting more evidence that in this season is Barry kind of sacrificing himself, but they'll have to figure out how to deal with multiple speedsters on a show. I think Arrow's done a really good job of maintaining a team and having people out in the field, but they can do it because they don't have powers. With these characters, and we've seen, I think the effects of the last two episodes have been off the charts. Like, I love what they did with the effects this episode. And I think that they just need to figure out a way to be able to have these multiple speeches on the show, or like you said, do things like you're doing with Jesse, send her to Earth 3, send Wally to Keystone. Like, you got to figure out something to do so that when you have them there, they're not just sitting around. You're wondering, well, why aren't you doing something? So, anyway, let's talk about the Speed Force. Like, I really enjoy anytime they do a Speed Force episode because it gives you these self-reflective moments for Barry. And he has to basically confront his past.
Some old cast members.
Well, that too, yeah. Barry. This is basically Barry having to confront his past, his decisions, and a lack of sticking to them. Like, I love the fact that Eddie basically hit him up with some, like, we gave you your speed back. The Speed Force talking. We gave you a speed back because you said you came to terms with your mother's death, and you basically lied because you didn't.
Right.
And he's like, well, yeah, then my dad died. And they're like, yeah, we get you. And that's why we allowed, and I love that instead of that, we allowed you to change time for Flashpoint. We allowed that. But he was like, but actions have consequences. And if you think about it, this entire season has been Barry running from his own consequences. And this was the episode that we've needed to basically be like, no, Barry, you got to deal with consequences. Just like, hey, he's like, oh, well, while he's too young, he shouldn't be here. It's like, well, no, he's a Flash. He made a decision. He's living with his consequence. And you don't get the easy way out. And I think this is the Ronnie persona told him, was that you don't get the easy way out to sacrifice yourself and change spots. Because again, you're still out there trying to hope somebody else can fix your mistakes. This is your mistake.
Right.
You need to go out there and fix it yourself. You can't ask Wally to go out there and because he's faster than you to be the one to save Iris. You need to. Savitar is your creation and your fault. You need to be the one to go out there and fix it. And
even more than that, before he left last time, he said, I am the Flash. That's how he got his feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Go be the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
And I get narratively, you kind of have to have these lapses in memory and these lapses in character because otherwise he's the Flash. It really shouldn't be a show.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that using the Speed Force as a device to communicate it is really well done, and I love that. Like after the severity he caught from Eddie, and the sadness he got from Ronnie, and having to fight those two specters. Who's next? It's not someone who died because he thinks it's his fault. It's Captain Cold.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime Wentworth Miller's on my television, I'm a happy camper.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's awesome. But at the same time, he brought the ripple effect. Like him saying that he sacrificed himself because he saw Barry's example.
Yeah, I thought it was.
And
yep,
it reminded me of, I don't know if you ever read the kickoff for Infinite Crisis, but it ends. The JLA ends pretty much. And Batman turns to Superman at one point and says, "The last time you inspired anyone is when you died."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, Barry, you want to be inspiration, you want to keep affecting people. Dying's not the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
For him, the only way to be a success is to sacrifice himself. But there's got to be other sacrifices. He's got to recognize the cost of everything he's doing. And I hope this was the episode that snaps him into gear for the pun intended race to the finale.
Yeah, and I think we need that. And here's the thing, because I see some people go, "Oh well, they're repeating things," and I get that, but narratively, I think that, and then this is why I think that they haven't been as tight this season as they could have been. But narratively, I get why each of the seasons has gone the way they are. I won't forgive it if in the fourth season we feel like we've gone back. It's kind of like how people started feeling that way with the season of Arrow, and then we're like, no, it is different because we're noticing subtle differences in Oliver and the way the team works and things that are going on there. No, there are enough differences there that I get what's going on, that you do have a new Oliver. We've gotten to the point where we need a new Barry Allen. We need somebody who's going to, like you said, be the Flash. Like at some point, I think that's what Snart even says him. Snart says him. The Snart, persona says, like, what can I do? It's like, oh no, I know what it is. Jay says it to him. He's like, and when he's like, how do I stop Savitar? I don't know what to do. And Jay's like, do what you do best. Be the Flash.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Like that's what Barry needs. And like I get that. Again, I think that narratively, I get where they were going with this, and why I've allowed what seems like Barry making a bunch of stupid decisions. But again, you got to go back to the fact that Barry's never had a real mentor. He's never really had that confidence because, hey, everybody portrays him, and it just he is growing pains. So, like, I think that I'll be honest, like. Again, the 22 episodes seems like a lot for them this season. I do feel like maybe if they had broken the season up better and had this episode earlier, that might have made people feel a lot better, because it does feel like it takes a long time for us to get the moment for somebody basically to go into Barry and be like, "Yo, be who the fuck you are, and step the fuck up." But it was necessary, and like I said, they really stuck it with this episode, and it really means a lot. Again, with Ronnie telling them, their sacrifices were for you. All the people that the lives that they could have had. That's what this is for. And yeah, and they say like Ryan said to them, you speak of sacrifices, but you still let others bear the burdens that should be on your shoulders. Which is basically what that's what you did with Wally. It's what you did with Wally. You basically said, Wally, and again, you got and this is why it makes it even better when you think about it. Wally being in the Speed Force, and this is the problem, because at one point you're watching this, and they keep telling him, no, Wally's here, but based on the decisions he made, you're going to be here. Like I think the Eddie persona tells him, it's like, yeah, well, you're going to be here for an eternity because, well, we're not letting him go. But each time, they let him proceed to get closer to let Wally out. So why do they let him actually get Wally out? And when you think about it, you're like, well, technically, Wally's only here because of Barry. And not because of Flashpoint, but because, again, Barry put the burden on saving Iris, saving his sister on Wally's shoulders.
Yeah.
Barry... Savitar and Iris dying is because of Barry. And instead of doing what he needed to do and standing up and being the one that needed to be faster and being the one that needed to save Iris, he turns and looks at Wally and goes, "You're going to be the one to save Iris." And I know at the time we were all like, "Shit, that's awesome. Wally's fast and that's great." And I'm like, and I love that. But looking back at it, I'm like, "Oh no, that's fucked up." That's I mean, when you really think about it, it's like, wait a minute. That's fucking bullshit. You're putting on Wally to save Iris. Then on top of that, you're saying that he has to be fast. You're training him this really, really hard, running him ragged. When he doesn't tell you about Savitar, you get mad at him and you see what you. But all of this is your fucking fault. You should be the one training that hard. You should be the one pushing yourself. You should be the one that like you literally drove Wally crazy by putting the burden on him and then he goes out here and makes his sacrifice. He's in that prison because of you. You know?
Yeah.
So
he passed the buck.
Yeah, you passed the buck. And like I said, when I look at it that way, I'm like, oh wow, that again, it brings everything together this season and makes me feel a lot better about what's going on here. It's like, yeah, because before Wally wasn't good enough, right? Before Barry saw those charts and saw how fast Wally wasn't good enough. Oh well, you need more training. You need to do all this. But as soon as he could see that Wally might be fast enough to save Iris, all of a sudden now it's, oh no, Wally, you can do it. Same thing he did with Iris in the ring. It's like he does it all the time. It's like, yo, you're passing it to everybody else, but this should be your fucking burden. You got to stand up. Everybody else sacrifice. You're not sacrificing. You're passing.
I think the part of it is the last couple times he's tried to stand up, things have gone so horribly wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But he's lost trust in himself.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been like the season-long road of trying to get it back. Because even like something I just noticed upon doing some rewatching, Cisco says yes to being his best man.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, they wouldn't speak.
Yeah.
And Barry kind of had to work on that relationship and get it back. And the last relationship he has to fix is how he views himself. Because he views himself the kind of way that we kind of do. Like Barry's been fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not, and it's like Jake said, the place of the hero is not to say, oh, I fucked up, stop trying. It's to say, fucked up that time, don't fuck up again, keep moving.
Yeah. You're
said it in the second episode, or first episode, when he pulled him out of Flashpoint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Said, look, you can't go back and change the past. All you can do is move forward and try to be the best Flash you can be.
Yo, it's the whole thing with like NFL cornerbacks, right? It's like, yo, D-back, you're gonna get burned. You're gonna get burned for a touchdown. It's gonna fucking happen.
It's gonna happen.
Next play, guess what? You got to forget that shit. You know, hey, you're gonna get burned. You got to accept it. And if you never want to get beat for a touchdown, don't fucking play the position, because it's gonna fucking happen. Now the question is gonna be, and I think this is where, and again, not saying that narratively this entire season they've really nailed this. I think they did in this episode here, and we'll see in subsequent episodes going forward. But it's the same thing with being a hero. It's like, you know, it's not whether you're always right and whether you can always stop the villain. It's what do you do when you're beaten? Do you just lay down and hope somebody else does it, or do you stand the fuck up? I mean, this is why we all like Batman, right? It's like Batman gets his ass whooped all the fucking time, and he has no fucking powers. Well, because if you don't kill him, he won't come back. He's gonna win eventually. Like, he's got the long game. Like, you never win the long game with Batman. You might get a short battle here, a short victory here.
The longer the fight goes, the worse you lost. You didn't realize it.
Right. So, and that's and honestly, that's just how it has to be for a hero, you know. And I think that's what Barry's learning. Like, he feels like he can stop everything all the time, every time. No, you can't. You're gonna get some losses. You know, your mother died, your father died. Nothing you can do about it. But you know what you did? You lost your father, but you know what you did? You saved the multiverse.
Right.
You know?
Gotta focus on the wins. You just do about the losses.
Right. I mean, it's just what it is. And yeah, the burden of being a superhero is, yeah, those losses are gonna hurt and they're gonna be personal and they're gonna suck. But they're part of the job. you know. And at one point, it's on the start. He goes, "I'm done fighting," and they're like, "Yeah, we know that's the problem. You're done fighting. Like you can't. Yeah. You want to come in here and you want to take the easy road, and you want to go in and look at that, being that endless temporal loop, and just punish yourself. No." That's not what that is.
Yeah, that was even that was so point of like stop living in the worst moments of your life.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah.
And I don't think it'll take this time. To be perfectly honest, I think whenever Savitar gets unmasked, that's when it finally takes.
Oh yeah.
Whether it be Wally or Barry, which honestly I feel like it's both. I could be either one now.
Yeah.
You had the chance to stop me. Barry be the son that Joe raised you to be, the man that Iris loves. Like the specificity with which he'd spoken to Barry points to it for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot, and again, we feeling like it would go with the theme of Barry being the real villain this season. If you find out, it's like, oh, it was Barry. But like I said, they got to stick that landing with that Savitar reveal. Like.
It's got to be great.
It's got to be great. Like at this point, if you don't get it, man, oof. Yeah, man, yeah. Good luck on that one. Let's see what else we got here. Done fine. I went through there. Oh, I love getting a little slow in your golden age, Garrick.
Great touch. Great touch.
Little things like that,
jokes. I'm always gonna be here for it.
Yeah, I can't be mad about that. HR and I also need an HR Cisco Super Mario Brother challenge. Because the pop culture references in this episode were top notch. I'm not gonna lie, they stuck them in there really well. They weren't forced in there.
Iron Giant got a reference,
huh?
Iron Giant shout out.
Right. I mean, damn. I mean, they went all over the place with this one. So I really enjoy that. Again, we talked about the Jesse Quick HR thing, and yeah, you know. So here's my question to you: when she punched, and good for her, that left hook, knocked out HR. When she said that was oddly satisfying, do you think it was satisfying because HR was annoying her, or do you think it was satisfying because she always kind of wanted to do it to her dad?
Yes.
Good answer. That's what I was going to say too. I was like, I think it's a little bit of both there. It's like, yeah.
God. Oh,
totally. Yeah, man, and yeah, so that's good there. So Barry and Iris. So I think that they need to do a better job at writing their relationships in this show. I actually do. I didn't have too much of a problem with what was going on in this episode. I know when I watched it live the first time, I definitely had a problem with the way. Like, wait, so Iris is now not being stupid. Now is Barry being stupid? But then
you need to explain to me because I was mad.
So here's how I got it in the second because I was just like, Barry, what the fuck? Like that was my real reaction the first time I watched it. Was like, Barry, what the fuck? First of all, God, it's gonna give me so much trouble. But fuck Iris for the dramatic setting the ring out with the ring case out on the table like that. First off, what the fuck? Like that was overly dramatic. First of all, there, all right, on her part. But then with Barry, like I'm like, Barry, what the fuck? Like she's gonna marry you. She's saying this. You stick with what the fuck? Why are you walking out like this is dumb? The only thing that made me kind of, I still think it's dumb. I still think they could have written it better. I think what they were going for here was that Barry is trying to, that he's going back and like, listen, Wally needs to be sidelined right now because he's going through. I put him through too much stuff, and he's going through. He saw some shit. Kid Flash has got to sit on the bench for a while. He needs some time to recover. And that was on me. Like I pushed him too far. I tried to get him to save Iris. Looking at the saying that they need some time apart, he's like, you know what? I did rush into all of this because I was trying to save you. And I think that this is Barry overcompensating for what the lesson he learned in the Speed Force, which is you need to do like You need to do all this stuff. You need to stop trying to live your life to prevent the future. You need to embrace it. I think that's what this is. Like, it was stupid. It was overcompensation. And I don't think that this stuff is written really well. I think the problem is, and I don't know, it feels like, because we're all so much older than I think the characters on the show, and I think their relationship is really, really young. And I think the writing is having a hard time balancing really nuanced and understanding. Like, relationships are stupid. Like, when you're in a relationship, you do, like, everybody watches this and goes, oh, that was stupid. What the fuck? And you're mad. But then you, like, go back and think about your relationship and you go, oh, no, I would have, maybe not that stupid, but I've done some stupid shit.
You're right. But I think the part of it is that the relationship feels almost too stupid. Like, even in your 20s, you're not, like, this feels like that overly dramatic couple from high school.
Right. And
it feels like Barry never had that big bad breakup in high school, so he wants to experience it now. Like, it feels like watching 16-year-olds deal with this kind of shit.
Yeah. And it's just, and what makes me, and what makes me mad about this is, one, you've waited, like, we've been trying to get to this point for 3 years, and it's like you're teasing us. And
yeah, but that's part of, like, I think that this show's end game is them together, so the detours extend the show.
Right. And the problem too is, like, look, man, they both love each other. Stop it. Like, I don't know. It's just one of those things that it should be written better. And I get what they were trying to do here. I don't think the execution, like a lot of the relationships on these shows, don't make sense. Like, honestly, I don't think this is written any worse than the whole, like, Felicity not being with Oliver at the end of the last season. Like, that shouldn't have made no sense to me either. It was just like, wait, so what? You guys were going to get married. I mean, that was even worse if you think about it. They were going to get married, then all of a sudden you weren't, because you found out that before you even knew each other, he had a kid that he just found out about and then didn't. Like, it was just, like, that breakup. If we accept the Felicity and Oliver breakup, this one I look at, I'm like, it's stupid, but fuck it, it's par for the course for these shows, right? And that's where I'm at with it. Like, it's dumb, but if you look at it across, like, think about all the CW shows. And I'm not watching Supergirl right now. Like, I have a backlog on it, but I hear some of the review from Shannon and the Doctor, and I've read Shannon's review. Like, how well are they doing that? Like, I think that Alex and the girl she's with, I can't remember what who she's with, the girl she's with now, but that relationship I heard is decent enough. But the rest of them, how well are they doing those?
Right.
Like, think about it. Like, I remember when Kara kissed Jimmy, and we were like, oh, okay, cool, that's gonna work. And then no, and then they fucking did. Yeah, no, yeah. So yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't fault anybody for being really mad at how they do the relationship on the show, but at this point, we're 5 seasons in this Arrow, 3 seasons into Flash, 2 seasons into Supergirl, 2 into Legend of Tomorrow. It comes with the territory. I hate to say it, but yeah, I got no defense for it.
Yeah.
I got no defense for it. Like, they you know what it is? I think while they matured everything else with these shows on CW from Smallville, they didn't mature the writing for the relationships. Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe you need. I don't know what you got to do to write better relationships on shows, but you need to find something and do that. I don't know, man.
I also think that I was talking to a friend who gets paid to write things, and he said that sometimes you want to appeal to things everyone can relate to, and that adult relationships are more nuanced. Mm-hmm. So you tell it like it's a high school kids, because everyone can at least have a touchstone there.
Right.
Everyone's had one crazy people. Oh, when you're in a relationship, you're boring. You're goddamn right, I'm boring. This is a good relationship. Right. Exciting lives are bad relationships.
Right. Like, because I don't know, man. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like okay, so You're taking a break, but you guys are all going to be still in, like, that doesn't, what does that do? Like, how do, like.
I was so glad they're like, well, where are we going to live? I was like, thank God.
Yeah, it just.
You could live in the same place. That place is fucking huge.
Right. Right. I mean, it just didn't, it was just weird. Like again, it makes sense if you look at it from the point of view of Barry overcompensating like Barry always does. But then it kind of also softens the fact that, well, you just got the Speed Force, you just learned a lesson, and you're still learning the wrong lessons. Like, it's like, God damn it, Barry. Like, I don't know. It's very, very frustrating. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the best word for it, frustrating.
Yeah, and honestly, that was the only really frustrating part about this episode for me. Like, everything else I really enjoyed. But like I said, up until that last, like, 2 minutes, I'm just like, oh, this is a really great episode. Oh, are they going to do something that's going to make me mad? Oh, fuck. They're going to talk about the relationship. And I saw that ring sitting there on the table, was like, God damn it, Iris. And it turns out I'm not mad at Iris. I'm mad at Barry.
I'd be mad at them both.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because
I got room in my heart to be mad at everyone.
Shout out to Joe West and his Black Fatherhood moments, though. He's still getting, I love it when he what did he say? He said, "You're about to risk your life to save her brother. Now is the perfect time." Yes, Joe. Yes. And then when he's talking to Iris,
I almost lost both of my sons. I'm like, make up your mind.
Wait,
who was Barry to you?
Oh, okay. You're still mad at the whole. Yeah, I'm
still confused that no one's brought it up.
At least Cisco got to make a joke, right? Like, at least, or HR. HR's got to make a joke. Somebody's got to do it, right? Somebody's got to. So.
You didn't actually adopt Barry, did you? No, why? I'm just, for incest reasons, asking questions. I don't think you can make an incest joke on CW.
Maybe that's it. Maybe.
Now that I thought about it, now that I said the joke out loud, maybe they don't touch it.
Maybe that's what's going on.
Is incest a bridge too far?
Mm-hmm, right. Hey, listen, we can put a man shark on TV, but we cannot do incest, guys. And like even when
not just incest humor.
Right, incest humor. Yeah. Hey, listen, incest is serious.
I don't know why this is so funny to me.
It's a problem. We need to take care of this. Even when Joe's talking to Iris, and he's like, when she was like, well, I just, when all of a sudden she tried, and I love that he kind of cut her off from this. She's trying to go that road. Well, maybe he's going out there to save Wally for me because I. Told him I'm putting. And Joe's just like, he basically was like, "Are you serious right now?" Like, we both know he was gonna go save Wally, like, because that's what he fucking does. Like, come on, yo. And I love it. And again, I guess that's why I'm so frustrated about what Barry did at the end, because Joe's basically there to snap Iris back to reality. It's like, no, you idiot. No, he's not doing this because of what you did. He's doing it because he's a fucking Flash, and that's what his fucking job is. And he loves you. He loves Wally. He loves the family. He loves his people. He's gonna fucking do that shit. That's what he does. And I don't know. You know how they can fix this for me? They need to, and I think this is something that they haven't done with the Barry and Iris relationship. They need to have a conversation about what it means for Barry to be the Flash. And what that entails, like, because it's something that if you're gonna have a relationship with a superhero, you need to understand that. Like,
certain things are gonna have to be understood.
Like, I understand it. Like, and I said that all the relationship on these shows do badly, but I think the best one they've done so far was when Oliver and Felicity were together. Up until they decided to break them apart. Like, they got it, because Felicity was always there in the shit, too, and just like, no, go do what you got to do. Like, I know what you got to do. She accepted it. She accepted Oliver for who he was. Like, I don't know if, like, hearing these doubts from both of them, I don't know if they're both prepared for this. Like, Barry, you being the Flash means Iris is going to be in danger. And Iris, you being married to Barry means Barry's going to run off and do things like this, not just for you, but because he's a fucking Flash. And they both need to have that conversation and come to that realization. And maybe that's where they're going with this. And that's why we're seeing them both seem like they're missing each other when we know how they feel about each other. We know they both very care a lot about each other, but they're still not having the conversation. And we both know that having love, everybody knows that when you have love for somebody, it's not enough. So, Yeah, man. I don't know. I just want them to fix that shit. Like, make sure you guys get some writing in there to make sure that when you finally go to this route, it makes sense. Let's see. Only thing I got is Gold Tooth. Cisco's proprietary way of tracking Barry
Yo,
through the multiverse.
Damn it, Cisco. You brilliant bastard, you.
Oh, boy. Not bad, Cisco. I'll allow it. I will allow it.
Oh, 100%.
I will allow it. Oh, and I love that Julian was so confused. Like, wait, you guys have done this before? I love Julian is great to have in the lab just for his, wait, you guys have done this before?
Really? He's kind of he's the audience surrogate if you just walked into the season.
Yeah.
You just walked into the show and you're like, wait. You guys just habitually travel the dimensions? Yeah, we did it last year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so good. And I love the fact that he's now just getting, like, it used to be like, just weird. Now he's just nodding like, okay, cool, I got it. By George, she has it. So, lovely. Yeah. So, and I said this before, like, I said, it'd be fucked up if Jay, like, I don't think they'll do this way, but the third person they can put on the mask now is Jay, since Jay is actually in the prison now. Although I don't think that again, to me, yeah, I mean, it has to be, I'm now leaning more towards Barry now, and not Wally. So I have Barry, Wally, and then a distant third is anybody else. It has to be those two to me for the Savitar thing to land. And we'll see. So, cause, yeah, like, wouldn't it be fucked up if it was like a time remnant of Barry who got locked in there, and like, like I said, it would be, I'll be real interested to see who Savitar is. I think it matters now. So, anything else you got, man?
No, I am hopeful for the musical episode next week. I really do hope that, like you said, the Savitar reveal lands, but I also think that this is a show that's about the joy of being a hero, and we've been pretty much devoid of joy for about a season and a half. So I'm excited for the diversion that's going, except for Aliens. Aliens was joyful, but I'm excited for a little singing from a very talented cast. They're bringing back Barry Ullman's apparently involved in the two-parter because, of course, he is. There's a lot of singing talent on the Flash side. I know Kriss is going to hate it, but I'm probably going to enjoy it more that way.
Listen, I'm going to hate it so much. Like, I'm still going to try to see if we can get Sarah to the Doctor one to review the episode. I was literally going to be like, yo, Dpalm, why don't you just go ahead and get those two on? And because the Power Ranger screener is at a distant theater for us next Wednesday. So I actually got excited. I was like, oh, wow, I won't be able to do the review. So I'll just get Dpalm and them to go ahead and review this episode. But it's also the same night as the movie Life, which is at a closer theater. So I think Phenom and I are going to split up. I think he's going to go to Power Rangers, not going to Life. Which means I'll be back in time to review this episode. But I'm definitely going to try to see if Shannon and the Doctor are going to be on, because I just want to sit in the background silently as you guys geek out.
Judging.
Yes, I'm just. Yeah.
So that's it for the episode. I think you had some more to say, though.
Yeah, we did. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Oh, no, this is you.
Oh, you want me to go first? All right, so look. So, and I remember, like, look. So... this is something I've been talking about a while now, and I saw some tweets from David Walker. I think it was a couple of days ago, or was it this weekend, where he was talking about the same thing. And the February numbers for comic books came out, and these are not digital sales; they're just physical sales. And again, hey, shout out to DC. DC is doing really, really well. The Marvel numbers are not, and what really stood out to me is it's the Marvel diversity numbers, like the people color led books, like, and this is not, these books were doing fairly well last year. They have fallen off significantly. Like, I want to say the only one in the top 50 was Invincible Iron Man with Riri on there. That means Sam Wilson, that means Spider-Man, they were all underneath there. Black Panther wasn't even in the top 50. You know, and remember, that was a book that, what did it sell? Like 250?
It was the coat. It was the big thing. It was the Git.
It was the Git, right. You know, it was huge. World of Wakanda, look at those numbers. People were screaming about Marvel not having black women writing books. They got Roxane Gay to write World of Wakanda, which is about black female characters in Wakanda. I think it's like selling 17,000. The last issue?
Yeah.
Like,
if you want these books, guys, go to your local comic shop and ask them to order them.
You got
that's how these numbers go up. It's not from individual sales matter, yes, but it's the distribution numbers that they really go off of. Right. And what I learned from David Walker's tweets were they care more about physical than they do about digital.
He did say though he did say that ordering on Comixology though is fine too. Because some people asked him later on.
Fine, but the diamond numbers are physical.
Oh yeah, the diamond numbers are definitely only physical numbers. Definitely.
Digital's all internal. There's no distributor for digital, so there's no one place to get the numbers.
Right. And I want to caveat this by saying, you'll see Marvel has their own subscription service on Marvel.com. They sync that with Comixology. So, I think Marvel is really in tune to what is selling digitally as well. They have their own service, they have their own app, they have Comixology, and then they also have Marvel Unlimited. So I think Marvel does learn that. But the bigger issue here is, and I think this is something that I've seen, the intensity that you get from people to be negative is nowhere near the intensity when it comes to something that's good. So, right now, the big thing right now this week is Iron Fist. And Iron Fist is deservingly getting dragged for what they did with not casting Asian American. I'm not going to say otherwise. But at the same time, there are a lot of diverse books out there that we weren't remember those the hip hop covers when they first announced them? I think that was 2015.
Appropriation, Kriss.
Right, appropriation, and Marvel doesn't really care. They just want our money, and they're not going to put First, it started with characters. The characters aren't going to be there. Then, when they proved that they were actual characters, then they became creators. So they've gotten more creators. All right, where's that same intensity for these books out here to make sure these books? And again, these are not something that these books are not good. They're good. I'm reading a lot of them. They're really, really good. The Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is selling under.
Mosaic is bad.
Huh? Oh no! Wait. Well, hold on. I'll get to Mosaic in a bit. All right. Okay. Most of them are good. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur deserve to be doing way more than 8,000 units, yo. Come on, guys. I remember there was the people get so upset over the preview page. There was that preview page of her mom, I think, having. Being respectability by telling her about it was either Riri or Moon Girl. I can't remember which one it was because her hair wasn't done right. And they were like, "Oh, this is respectability," and people got so upset and wrote all these tweets about it. And I'm like, "Yeah, but if you read the whole book, it's not like that. Like that. Are you reading the book? Are you just going off of out of context preview pages and not actually buying the books? If you're not doing that, recent this week is last couple weeks is the Magneto cover and he being Hydra and oh whoa that's just offensive and I can't believe Marvel's doing this. I'm like, you motherfuckers aren't buying the books. They probably wouldn't be so over the top with some of the variant covers if you were buying the books. You don't I've had people come up to me and try to argue with me about Hydra Cap. And they go, but are you reading Sam Wilson? Well, no. Are you even reading Steve Rogers? Well, no, I'm not reading it. I just don't think it was right. I'm like, how do you know it's not right if you're not fucking reading it? So it's just one of those things it really feels like, and I'm not going to name any sites out there, but there are a lot of sites out there that really focus so heavily on the negativity, right? Oh, I can't believe that Marvel would, do this or they're appropriating this and they don't care about this and that. All right, cool. What are you doing when they are doing the things you want? When the books are out there and they have the characters out there, what are you doing? I got really mad the day I saw some fantasy casting for America Chavez and I was just like, who gives a fuck about your fan castings and who should play the character if you're not buying her fucking book? You know her book's out right now, right? If you're not buying her book and sustaining that, the character's never going to make it into the fucking TV show. You don't get to sit there and complain about, oh, well, I want that character in the TV show. Miss Marvel numbers are down. Camilla Khan's numbers are down. I want the character in the TV show. Why would you want the TV show if you're not buying the fucking book? You don't get to do that. That's not how this fucking works. And it's not the same as saying, oh, well, support your own because, and these numbers used to be there. The numbers used to be there. They're not anymore.
And it's bigger than the normal number 1 to number 5 drop off.
Right. No, this was disgusting when I saw these numbers. Like, it was bad. And they have not been like that in a while. And these books are good. And you can sit there and make it all about it's about too many events. No, it's not. Because here's the thing. Black Panther didn't touch Civil War II. And the tie-ins to, like, Spider-Man were fine. They didn't take you out of the fucking story. Power Man and Iron Fist didn't take you out of the story.
They made the story better.
Right. Matter of fact, I think the tie-ins were better than the actual main story if you want to be real for real. So it's like you can't sit there and say it was that, all right? You mentioned Mosaic. Mosaic is fucking terrible. That's the only book on there that's slow. Huh?
I tried.
You were a soldier. You went back and tried to read issue 6 or 7. And I was just like, dude, I got 4 issues. I read the first issue, was like, I can't fucking do this. You know? But it goes back to something. Hey, look, people wanted a new character. You got a new character. I didn't hear anything about Mosaic. I had to go out and I bought it and got a subscription myself because I didn't hear anybody else talking about it. So I went and read it myself and was like, oh no, this is not good. But this is what you wanted. You got to support that shit. If you don't support it, and then it gets, that's the thing. What happened with, what was it, Nighthawk?
Yep.
People love the previews. Oh, I can't believe, this is awesome. I can't believe. Then it got canceled. Oh, they canceled. I can't believe they canceled it. It's like, well, you guys weren't fucking buying the book. Did you buy it? Well, no, I wasn't reading it. Well, that's why they fucking canceled it. Well, we're just waiting for the trade. You can't wait for the fucking trade.
You get there, guys.
In order to get to the trade, you got to sell. You got to buy the book, man. And look, I understand that that's a financial commitment, but that's what you have to do. You can't buy them all. Like, I can't buy all of them. Like, right now, I'm subscribed to Sam Wilson, Spider-Man, Invincible Iron Man, what else am I? Ultimates 2, because Ultimates 2 has a lot of black characters in it, and I subscribe to America. I bought the trades of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and I think I caught up on Power Man and Iron Fist. Again, I can't buy them all, but I'm going to buy some. The number, and I obviously I got World of Wakanda and Black Panther as well. I'm trying here, you know. You can't. I'm not asking people to buy and subscribe to all and buy physical copies of all. You can't. Like, I'm gonna try now, start going out there and buying physical trades of a lot of these books now myself to try to go out there and maybe I'll give them away for give outs and things like that for the site. But like, you got to try, guys.
It's what Kriss and I told you this summer. We were talking about these books. Your X-Men, your Avengers, your crossovers, save those for the trade. Shift your monthly pulls to smaller books, indie books that you actually care about. There's a reason why Kriss and I are on this show telling people to give to the Uber Kickstarter. Because we said, hey, it's a good book. It deserves your money. You're going to get more than your money's worth if you give. Kriss, from your giving, have you gotten more than your money's worth?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's exactly.
Hell yeah. You know?
This is, it's complicated, but it's not. The tent poles are going to be there. I don't buy Avengers books anymore the month they come out. I don't. I either wait for trades.
Because those books are always going to be.
Or wait for Marvel Limited.
Yeah. Because always.
You know what I do buy every month? I buy Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I buy More Than Meets the Eye. Because guess what? That's not a big book.
Mm-hmm.
I tout it and I tell you how great it is on this show all the time. I'm annoying about it. I know I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a big book. It can get pulled at any time.
Mm-hmm.
I started buying the IDW Ninja Turtles. I'm buying Ultimates 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. I'm going to say Ultimates 2.
If you care, if you want these stories, ask for them with your dollar. Yeah. Don't ask them with the snarky internet. Should have been X, Y, or Z. I would have done this differently. Oh, why didn't you release these pages? Don't do that. Support the book. And guess what? It's not blind support because, like Kriss said, Mosaic is garbage.
Yeah. Look,
that's an all-black creative team.
Look, if you like the book, if you don't like the book, I'm not saying to buy the book. I'm not saying not to buy it, but like there are stories out there. Like, again, there are people out there that didn't go out and didn't want to get Invincible Iron Man. One, because legacy character, what's going on with that? Should have been a new character, and because of one variant cover that showed her drawn too old. She's not drawn like that in the actual page of the book. Go and read the fucking book. I have the first 2 issues in physical copies, and I also have the digital copies of those. I have, yes, because it's important. You know, you have to get these books out there. And look, we're saying Marvel. It's not just Marvel. Somebody put it out on Twitter today. DC's not doing that much better with their diversity. And DC, here's the thing: nobody pushes DC to do better. I had this conversation about that with movies as well. Nobody pushes other studios other than Marvel to do better with diversity. If you get it with the other ones, okay.
Marvel diversity.
Huh? Yeah.
If you're this mad about Marvel's diversity, especially in the cinematic universe, you're not paying attention. That's fine.
Right. But like you talked about it before, that Green Lantern's book.
2 people of color headlining that book, and it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I need to get onto it. You know? Cyborg's book. Like there's not I can list way more people with Marvel. There's not a lot with DC. There's a reason for that.
Cyborg book's not that great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty. It's well drawn.
It's in the Mosaic territory. Yeah. No, Mosaic is
not well drawn.
Mosaic is really, really just terrible. It's a terrible fucking book. Like, I'm sorry. Like at one point, like I think one of the writers of the book was jumping in on the topic about buying the book, and I wanted to be like, oh yeah, but your book is not good. That's why we don't support it.
You're not one of the people talking about.
Yeah, no, your book is actually fucking terrible.
Raise your hand if you've got a good minority-driven book.
Right.
That should be read by more people.
Yeah.
Put your hand down, Mosaic.
You know?
And
Put
even your hand down.
And also, I would say and I think you talked about this too, and I need to get onto it. Occupy Avengers with David Walker's doing that book. It's another great book. It's not a minority, but he's a minority. And I think that's one of the things that I've been pushing for is, hey, you know what? It's great to have creators of color writing and drawing books of color, but I also kind of want to see them also getting talent to do other things too. Like, why can't a black guy write Steve Rogers? Why can't a black guy write an Occupy Avengers book that centers on Hawkeye? Like, why can't he? Like, we should be able to. We shouldn't just have creators of color only being able to write books of color.
You're 100% right, but there'll be no person of color writing Captain America Steve Rogers right now because Nick Spencer's a G.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. Let's not go too far now. Like, Nick Spencer needs to. Nick Spencer is writing the fuck out of both Captain Americas right now.
Yo, he's writing the fuck out of these books. Did you read this week's Cap?
No, I didn't.
Captain Sam.
I didn't read Sam
Nick,
yet.
Look, look.
Yeah, look, man. I don't
cook out. Nick may bring a plate. Nick may bring something, man.
Like, I'm just, yeah, man. But it's just like, like these are good books. So when people go, oh man, yeah, I'm just like, are you right? Like, I don't want to see blurs getting mad at secret empires. I fucking hate that term. I'm tired of seeing blurs getting mad at jumping on the bandwagon and talking about Hydra Cap, and I'm like, but are you reading Sam Wilson? And you know what? Let me stop. I don't want to just get on black nerds here. White people too. I'm sorry, you as well, because you guys don't get to sit back and going, oh yeah, I support diversity too, and you're not buying the books either. You have a larger you have a larger market share. You guys can do the same thing. You guys spend all this fucking energy complaining about all these. Oh, I'm banning Marvel now because of Hydra Cap. Are you reading Sam Wilson? You're mad because Steve Rogers now is Hydra. Are you reading the real Captain America, which is Sam Wilson, who's out there fighting the AmeriCops? Are you doing that? If not, shut the fuck up and pick up a fucking book. I'm tired of this. It's bullshit. It's completely fucking bullshit. All right? You don't get to sit there and make all this noise out there and then I complain. And this goes just across the board. Like, I've seen people go, oh, yeah. I mentioned this about Get Out. Somebody was like, oh, yeah, I want to go see Get Out. I'm just going to get it on bootleg. No. You go to the theater and you put money towards stuff you like. You don't bootleg that shit. Look, I bootleg comics all the fucking time. All the fucking time. You know what I don't bootleg? No, I don't mind. Hey, look, I'm not going to lie. I do. But it's not. It's not Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. It's not Sam Wilson. It's not Spider-Man with Miles Morales. No, I buy those books. You know, like I buy the ones that I know need that financial support. I'm gonna go out there and do that. You know, I put my money towards that Kickstarter for Uber for a fucking reason. It deserves it. You know, I like that book. Same thing with, I mean, this is the thing that goes behind everything with bootleg and stuff like that. Like, if you really want to support it, put your money behind it. You know? Hell, even the Marvel books I get illegally, look, man, I still got a Marvel subscription, a Marvel Unlimited subscription. A lot of times what it is the books on Marvel Unlimited, I still download it the other way just because it's an easier format for me to get. I can only hold 12 of the downloaded issues in Marvel Unlimited, which I really wish they would fix. So I'll do it that way. Or sometimes there's a bug with Marvel Unlimited, and so I'll have to, get an issue. But other than that, I still put the money where my mouth is, man. You got to start doing that. And again, I understand people have different financial situations. Even if you can just subscribe to one, $4.99 a month. $4.99 a month. It matters. It really, really fucking does. It counts. You need to do this. It's important. You can't sit there and wait for the trade. You can't sit there and hope and catch up later on. No, for the books you really want. If you're one of these people that's out here asking for these characters to show up in the TV shows and show up in the here's the thing. I don't want to hear anybody talking about these characters showing up in a TV show or a movie and you're not actually buying that fucking book. If you're not doing that, you gotta shut the fuck up. If you're not buying Spider-Man, you get to go, Marvel really needs to put Miles Morales in. They should have gone with Miles Morales. Why would they? You're not buying the book. How does that fucking work? Put the same intensity you put when they do something wrong. Put that same intensity in making sure you support what you need. I've always said this is why we do this on this show. This is why we do Super Tuesdays and Character Corners, and we have them to our network. Listen, if it's bad, I'm going to say it's fucking bad. Mosaic is bad, guys. Don't buy Mosaic. All right? I can't trust enough.
I'm the one who tried to stop you from watching, from reading Storm.
Well, and here's the thing. Both of those books, I still bought. I bought 4 issues of Mosaic. I still bought it to make sure I read it for myself. Cause I'm like, you're telling me this, but let me make sure I feel it's bad. It's like, oh no, it's fucking bad. No, okay, no. All right. I still supported up to 4 issues though. All right. Look, man. I'm like, you got to do that. Like that's just how to. So we formed the MTR network to talk about the things we love. Yeah, when it's bad, we're gonna talk about it's bad. Getting some DC stuff later on. Hey, look, if it's bad, it's bad. But when it's good, we try to be positive on that. Like, and I've always said that I feel like there's going to be there's a time limit on the negativity that people have of their only sell is being negative. Like that's only going to last but so long because at some point people are going to get tired of that and be like, wait, you keep saying this stuff is bad, but you're not reading it either. You're not doing what's going on here. You never talk about what's good. And sorry guys, no. So anyway, all right. Now moving on. Too bad.
Speaking of the bad. So news came out about Batman, the I guess Untitled Batman movie coming out allegedly at DC, Warner Brothers. So they've got a director now who I guarantee has a very large guarantee in case it doesn't get made. And he's saying that now, because they're rebuilding the script from scratch, mind you, which means they've thrown out one of their executive producer scripts, for the record. This now said they're starting from scratch, which means any casting news you hear for the next, call it 8 months, is a rumor and or a lie, and that we should not expect filming to start until 2018. Kriss, I must ask, does this movie happen? And when you say yes because you're being positive, I have to ask you, why do you think so?
I say yes because it's Batman.
Okay.
And that's the only reason. Like, really, if this was Cyborg, hell fucking no. All right? It's Batman, though. If there's anything that they'll do a Batman movie because it'll make money, some money. It's got to, right? It's Batman. It's not coming out in 2019 though.
Nope.
So you're saying they're aiming to start shooting in 2018?
Yes.
If they get a script done this year, then okay. If not,
okay, Kriss.
If not, 2020. But this is what I was again. I'm not going to get into the whole diversity thing with movies and stuff like that. But this is what I try to tell somebody was trying to argue with me about how, oh well, no, DC's got more coming down the pipe, and I'm like, only one of those movies we know for sure is happening. It's Aquaman, only because we know they've shot it. Like, okay, you're way.
They're currently doing further location scouting, Chris.
They're shooting Aquaman, so I'll give them that. All right.
They were shooting Superman Returns, or Superman Lives.
Valid. All right. Damn, I can't come back from that one. there's no coming back from Superman Lives. There's nothing to say about that one. No, you got.
Yo, there's a half finished Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. They will pull the plug on your project.
Yeah, I don't think they're that far. I don't think they'll do that. But yeah, I mean, hey, what have we heard about the Flash? Like, the Flash had that. It still doesn't have a director. I don't think they have a script. They're working on a script. They're doing here's the thing. How many of these movies have you heard that they're doing full script rewrites on? So basically what happened was they went out. First of all, when you do a full script rewrite on a film that kind of fits into a cinematic universe, it then makes you wonder, it's like, why do you need, what happened? Do you not, so do you not feel confident in the two movies you have coming out now, in Wonder Woman and in Justice League? And so now you need to rewrite them to adjust to things that happen in those, like, what's concern. And again, these aren't small script adjustments. They're full page one script rewrites. That's a problem. That's now for two of their movies.
Yep. And
here's the thing about the Flash one, the one that released it out to me, because the Flash is one that it should be in the same boat as Aquaman right now. They should be shooting it. The fact that they lost 3 directors for Flash, they had to redo a script. They lost a really. I was really excited about Filmwiga directing Flash 2. They lost a black director. Nobody ever pushed them to get another black director to fill his spot. Interesting. Yeah, man, look, this isn't me trying to pile on to WB. It's me saying there's clearly something. The writing is on the wall that there's something clearly wrong over there. And that should concern everyone. And I would feel better if, instead of trying to push out and tell us, look at us, we're going to do Gotham City Sirens, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and naming all these films. We're going to Nightwing, and we're going to do all this stuff. It's like, here's the thing. There's a reason why Marvel has phases, and why you don't hear anything about Phase 4 right now. Does it mean that they're not prepared for Phase 4? No. Does it mean they don't know what's going on with Phase 4? No. They know. They're planning it.
They haven't told us.
They haven't told us because they have a plan, and they're working on a current phases of movies right now. Like, we know when production is going to start. We know when they're going to start shooting. Like, it's a well-oiled machine. And let's be honest here, on one of the things we've never had, even when they lost directors, they've never changed their dates. I mean, let me change that. They changed their dates only once, and that's when they added Spider-Man. They shifted everything, and it didn't fuck anything up. They didn't lose a director. They didn't lose a script. They didn't go, oh, well, we don't know what we're going to do. No, the only movie that they had, that they announced that was kind of up in the air was Inhumans, and we saw what they ended up doing with that. They say they're still doing a movie, but they're doing TV as well, and an IMAX engagement this summer. It's like, that's a well-oiled machine. Now, fast forward to DC, where they originally gave us dates like Marvel did. Like, we had Cyborg, we had the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps, had all this stuff out there. Then they started adding in new movies. Oh, we're going to do a Suicide Squad 2, which they got the fucking writer from Tarzan. Okay.
Did anyone see Tarzan?
Oh my God. Okay. Gotham City Sirens. We're gonna do. There might be a Harley Quinn movie. Oh, we're gonna do a Black Adam movie, and we have Shazam, and we're gonna like. It doesn't feel like it's like they're throwing things on the wall and saying they're gonna do all this stuff. But when you look at what they actually have to work with and the time frame, nigga, we don't have anything. After Aquaman, what do we have that we know is definitely coming out?
Yeah, that's right.
They're courting Matthew Vaughn for Man of Steel 2. But we don't have any solid, like, we know this is definitely coming out next. We do not know what the next movie is after Aquaman comes out. Is it Justice League Part 2? Remember, it's supposed to be Justice League Part 1 and Part 2. Is it Justice League Part 2? Is it Green Lantern Corps? Like, what comes out after Aquaman? We don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows, and I don't think they know. And that's a problem. That's where my concern comes in with DC. It's not just piling on. It's like, I want you all to do better, but I want you guys. This is where the slow down comes in at. The people used to tell them this, oh, you're moving too fast before BVS came out. I don't think they were moving too fast then. Now, they're definitely moving too fast because they don't know themselves. And so now you have a mess of a bunch of movies coming out with an aggressive schedule that it does not seem like they are prepared to handle. You don't have scripts. That's step one. How do you have a director? How do you have a here's the thing, how do you have a Flash movie cast and you don't have a script?
Or director.
Remember when they were trying to do Black Panther? They were recording Ava, and then they went. She couldn't. She turned it down, and they were trying to get F. Gary Gray. Then we're like, all right, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna sit back right now. We're gonna work on the script. We're gonna get somebody to write the script. We'll get that first, and then that's when they got Ryan Coogler after that. But again, that was still like 2 years before the movie was supposed to come out. They had people were panicked. Like, people were gonna say, why, Kriss and Dpalm, why are you guys all worried about it? Like, you guys are stressing. No. When Ava turned down Black Panther, people were panicked. And I was like, yo, the movie doesn't come out until 2018. We're good.
We were chilling.
We're good. I mean, this is normal stuff. All right. You panic when it comes to things like DC doing this though, because they don't even have scripts. Like, it'd be something different if we heard, like, you know, Ava wanted to do it. She signed on. Then she left, and then F. Gary Gray signed on, and then he left, and then Marvel said, "We're gonna work on the script," and they wrote a script, and then Ryan Coogler came in, and when Coogler came in, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna rewrite the script again from scratch." Then I'd be panicked about Black Panther, but none of that happened. They went to people and was like, "Hey, do you want to do it? Oh, you don't want to do it? Okay, cool. We'll move on to somebody else. Move on down the list." And they finally got somebody who said, yeah, and then they announced it. What happens with DC is they get somebody who's like, oh, man, big deal. Like, I think you said this when we talked about the Nightwing thing. Do any of us believe Nightwing's coming out anytime soon, or if it ever comes out?
I don't believe Batman happens.
Yeah, I mean, you don't believe. I mean, Affleck just got out of alcohol rehab apparently. I was like, damn, man, BVS wasn't that bad, was it?
Well, good for him. Good, healthy. Yeah, I hate being positive, but yeah, get healthy. That said, this movie doesn't happen.
Like I said, I want DC to be great again. I do. Looking at the comic numbers, you see what happens when DC is great. They can smash. They can sell, all right? But not confident. Before we get, what do you think about the new Wonder Woman trailer?
I am cautiously optimistic. I'm guarded, but I liked what I saw. I love that it's not washed out and like Snydery.
Mm-hmm.
Like, her colors popping, like, was actual. A sigh of relief. Well, do I believe in it? Oh, come on, dog. I'm not stupid.
Yeah, no, that was something that I noticed when they first gave us original footage of Wonder Woman. It was washed out colors. But
So it was typical DC movie, man. I was
right,
like, no,
but then
even her appearance in BVS,
right, but then when they
Great.
when they started doing the trailers, they're like, oh, they added color. We can work with this. So we'll see. I'm hoping that the missteps I've been feeling with Wonder Woman are just DC having typical missteps with marketing. You know.
Before we get out of here, I do want to say there's a Chris Evans interview in Esquire running. And if y'all follow Chris Evans on Twitter, you know that he is real life Captain America about this Trump shit.
Yeah.
And the interview apparently opens with, I'm reading this from CBR. The interview quickly dipped into the actor's political and personal ideology and how certain advisors have told him to keep a tighter lip if he wants to hold his job. Evans isn't having any of that, though. Look, I'm in a business where you've got to sell tickets, said Evans. But my God, I would not be able to look myself in the mirror if I felt strongly about something and didn't speak up. I think it's about how you speak up. We're allowed to disagree. If I state my case, people that want to go see my movies as a result, I'm okay with that. Oh, shit.
That's my Captain America, guys.
That's Captain America. I don't know when Chris Evans turned to real life Captain America.
I need somebody to Photoshop Chris Evans' face on Cap punching Hitler, but put Trump's face on Hitler. Like, that's what I need at this point, yo.
I read that quote. I was like, where do I sign up? I want to find. Civil War, part of the resistance. Let's go, Cap.
Yeah. Oh man, it's fucking awesome. So anyway, guys.
Eventually, I think he toes the line later. I mean, like all so and so's aren't so and so. Of course, he has to. I get it. But I think we got a flash of the real Chris Evans there.
Right. He had a moment. He had a moment, yo. He had a moment. So
he had a real moment. Like he has it very often on Twitter. Because if you ever thought you'd never see Captain America fight a Nazi because it's 2017 and why the fuck would you see that? Watching Chris Evans dismantle David Duke is like a daily pastime of mine.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. It's fucking great. Man, so good. All right, folks. Super Tuesday recap again. Got a little extra there at the end. We thank you guys for staying on for us. And you can find the rest of the reviews on movietrailerreviews.net or mtrnetwork.net. There's a 5-star review on iTunes. Search for Super Tuesday Recap. Leave the review there. I'll read it on air. Or you can email us at mtrailerreviews@movietrailerreviews.net. Again, guys, go out and buy your books, yo. Seriously. I'm dead serious. Very, very passionate about this. I'm very, very passionate about, if something's out there good. Hey, look, if something's bad, say something. But something's good, also say something and financially support it. It does not do us any good to want these things and not put our money where our mouth is, So you gotta go out there and do that. You got it, and that goes for everything, not just comic books, it's movies, supporting Black women, all of this stuff. You gotta put your money where your mouth is, and you gotta support them financially. Because here's the thing, man. A good job on Twitter and a tweet in 140 characters, don't really pay the bills. You got to also support, man. You got to step out of what's easy, and you got to do that. So please go out there and do that, guys. We'll be back next. We'll be back this weekend for Arrow and Legends tomorrow. And yep, folks. Again, until you next time. Talk to you later. Peace.